Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's ThreeZero's coming back with another review. I know it has been a while since I last actually uploaded one, and I do apologize. Just been busy with some life stuff, and just recently moved into a new apartment, so haven't really found the time until today to make a review. So figured I'd just get started and knock this one out really quick. And so I do appreciate you guys and your patience. So yeah, today we have the ThreeZero MDLX Starscream. And this is the G1 version of Starscream, of course, so he looks a little bit more classic. He is a bit more modernized, however, so that's one thing that kind of drew me towards picking up this figure. And so quickly we'll just look over the box here. You can see there's the official logo and some additional artwork here. Looks really nice, very simple packaging, like most figures there. But figured I'd kind of, shave off a lot of the chaff here and do a bit of a quicker video and go over some of this figure in an easier way that's a little bit more manageable. So we'll just go ahead and jump right into the figure itself. I do have all of his accessories currently removed right now, just so I could show you him by himself. And you can see here, he's just a beautiful figure. I mean, one of the best I've seen as far as detail goes. And quality in itself is really nice. ThreeZero's they made a really good impression on me so far when it comes to these figures. So I think, as far as it goes with Transformers and their line itself, I'm pretty convinced that I'll be buying from them in the future. So just taking a look at him here, you can see he has some awesome paneling, some really good detail. There's a lot of dry brush over the gray paint, and so it looks a little bit darker on those paneling. One of my favorite parts is, of course, these more metallic looking areas, and the cockpit portion of his abdomen here you can see is a nice gold color. And then one of my favorite parts here is at the back of the legs. The jet engines, the turbines, or what have you, have that nice metallic color with the gold accents that look really nice. And same here with these pipings. So you can tell here that there is some die-cast metal inside. He's got a nice weight to him, and then, the joints aren't loose or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about anything or any issues with posing, which we'll get into here in just a second. Let me first show off the accessories, and then we can go into his articulation. So put him right there for now. He does come with three different sets of hands. Four sets of hands. So he has the regular fists here. And then he has these open hands here. And each one, the details, pretty solid. Let me see if I can get this to focus here. One of these days. There we go. They have a nice dry brush over them as well. And then he has these more relaxed hands. Not sure where he would use these, but if you just want to put his hands to his side, or maybe his hands on his hips. Then we have his gun holding hands, and we'll get to those in just a second. In addition, we have his null rods. And these look really cool. Got a nice gunmetal gray to them. You can see there on the tips. And yeah, he does come with two of those. And we'll show you what these look like on his body. And then lastly, we have his relaxed face. Right now I have his smirking face on his, and I'll show you that in a second. So you can swap face plates here. See, he's got a smirking face right there. Alright, and next we have the wing accessory. Now I call it a accessory because it is in fact just one backpack for Starscream. And the detail on it is incredible. I really enjoyed the paint job here. It's not very sloppy. It's very well done, and the paneling of course looks great on this one as well. And it's definitely one of the cooler parts of the figure and brings it all together. There's a few issues with this, however. The first one being that it does come with these additional daggers, so that he can wield these, of course, and they do look, neat for the most part. I will say that I've never seen him use these in any kind of cartoon or movie, but he does come with two of them that are, identical. And the reason for that is because these daggers can actually slot in to, wrong side, slot into the wing portion here, the wing backpack, to, basically just add that additional, I don't know what you would call that, but basically just makes it look like it's more complete. And the issue with this here is that, if you just wiggle these a little bit, if you're just trying to pose them around, these slide off pretty easy. It would have made more sense if they maybe had like a little peg or something like that within the slot itself, and some peg holes here at the bottom, which I'm not sure how they would, especially with how thin it is. But there could have been something done better that could allow these to stay a lot better. In addition to the, this first issue here, the one major issue with this figure that I think should be done better, and there they go, was how it actually slots into his back. So you can see here on the inside here on the back, there's these two red pegs, and they're meant to poke into these two holes right here. They'll basically just tab right in. And so they go in no problem. And he looks really good. He looks more complete. My issue lies whenever you're trying to pose him or something to that degree, and just how easy those wiggle off. Now, obviously, you're not forcefully doing this, but as you're posing him, it does happen. I felt that they probably could have included a magnet in here, to go with the die-cast metal that's inside of his frame in order to make it stick better. But for whatever reason, they just didn't, and we have this issue. And combined with this falling off and these two things, it just becomes annoying at points. And, if you pose him, you kind of just have to leave him there. You can't really just leave the wings in his body as you're trying to pose him. So these go on last. So that's my major gripe with those. Besides that, they look really good. And like I said, they do complete the figure. So, of course, we'll see some pictures with everything all attached and complete. But we'll go ahead and go to the posing here, or the articulation rather. And then we're going to go ahead and do some size comparisons. Alrighty, so when it comes to his articulation, it is extremely good, just to say that up front. His head, of course, is on a ball peg, sorry. So we can do full 360. There's one where the head is attached to the neck, and then one where the neck is attached to the body, so he can look down pretty far, look up pretty high. Just really solid articulation altogether. His body itself, he does have a ab crunch here. You can see it's very slight, but it is there. You can see on the back as well how that goes. So it's just this top red chest piece. Then he does have waist swivel, which is really nice. So he's not stuck in one solid position. And then here, we kind of have to watch out for these little panels here that also move, and we'll go over those shortly. The arm articulation is really nice. We have a full 360. We do have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, which is really nice. And then lastly, a ball peg for the wrist. In addition, these shoulder pieces do move independently, so if you're wanting to get something a little bit more dramatic, like if you want to move his arms way up here for whatever reason, you can do that. And then, let's see here on the legs. Besides these waist pieces here, these move on ball joints, so if you want to move these out of the way so he can do something crazy, like a really high kick, he can definitely do those. Insane splits, that in itself kind of tells you what his leg joints kind of look like as far as articulation goes. It's really solid. He can go, pretty far forward and pretty far back. And then the knees actually are double jointed as well, so you can bend them pretty far. And then also one thing to note is that there's this little springy portion right here on the back of his leg, I guess just to compensate for that double joint. There's some additional paneling here on the ankles to account for that ankle pivot, which kind of works all in one portion here. So the jet turbine or jet engine here moves along with the toes here, and the toes themselves just move up and down. So he has some really solid range of motion, despite being, you know, a little bit bigger and a little more blocky. He can actually hit some pretty sweet poses. So yeah, his articulation, in my opinion, 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 even. I would say it's really solid. Some of the best I've seen, especially out of a figure like this. So we'll go ahead and do some size comparisons, and then we'll do some poses. All right, so let's go ahead and do a quick size comparison here for Megatron. First, wanted to get his height. Looks like we got him just above, or just below 7.5 inches, probably about 7.25. So a little bit on the taller side, but not ginormous. Not nearly as tall as Terry Bogard from Storm Collectibles there. Then we also have 1,000 Toys Master Chief. A little shorter, he's not standing completely tall, but you get the gist. Let's see. Got Amazing Yamaguchi Iron Spider. A little bit shorter. And let's see, we've also got SH Figure Arts Sage Mode Naruto. This is the first release. Shout out to my girlfriend for that one. That was the one that kind of sparked my childhood need to collect action figures. So yeah, that's that one there. Much shorter. Then lastly, we've got the most recent review. The Batman from Mezco. Significantly shorter as well. So yeah, that is the basically the complete review for Megatron here. I do have to say, you know, despite his flaws, I'm certain that ThreeZero's going to be getting a little bit more of my money here in the future, being that the quality of this figure here, and for as long as it's been out, I'm surprised it's not sold out, how well made it is. Extremely solid for the price point. You can tell that this is one of those figures that's not going to, you know, bore you just because of how good it looks, and the posability in itself looks really nice. So if you're, you know, on the fence about this guy, I would suggest picking him up. I know that they just come out with some different colorways for different Decepticons that are much like Starscream here. But I would say that this guy for sure was 100% worth the money. And if you were on the fence, absolutely pick him up. I think that he's probably one of the better figures I've gotten recently, and one I don't plan on getting rid of. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I once again want to apologize about the extended wait. And I appreciate you guys sticking around, and I hope you guys have a great holiday, and take care. God bless.